Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about how to build a non-linear resistor curve, thermistor curve in CCT. You might need this because Johnson only supports a few different types of thermistors. Its main that it supports is a nickel 1K and platinum 1K, but it also does 10K type 2, which is this 10K type L, but it does not do 10K type 3. So even though there is a 10K type 3 here that you could select, but you see it's not started as standard, if you select that and go over to define hardware, it won't let you put it in. So that won't work. So we're going to show you how to make this work today. First, you're going to need a resistor chart. So I go to my good buddies over at ACI. ACI makes most of the sensors for Honeywell and other OEM manufacturers. So they're a good wealth of knowledge. But under their info, technical thermistor curves, you can build whatever kind of thermistor curve you need. Today we're looking for 10K type 3. And then we can go ahead and do the negative 40 to 302. We could cut that down depending on what the temperature's for. Let's go ahead and keep 302. Why not? At 1 degree, that way it's going to be more accurate, but we could do 5 degree, 10 degree. We could even do 0.5 degrees. That'd be a lot, but let's just go with 1 degree. Generate chart. Well, look at this nice pretty chart we got here from ACI. What we can do is they separate it out just perfectly where we can copy this and paste it into Excel. So let's paste it in Excel. I'm going to leave A blank for now. A reason for that later. And we just need the numbers. We don't care about boxes, right? Clean this up a little bit. Okay. I'm in North America, so I really don't care about Celsius, so I'm just going to get rid of it. That way, there's no confusion for me. Okay? Now, first thing we need to do is get rid of the degrees Fahrenheit and the ohms symbols up here. And the easy way to do that is go up here and hit replace. Go find a degrees Fahrenheit, Control C, Control V, leave that blank, replace all, find all, replace all. Okay, they're all gone. Now let's do the same thing with ohms. We go ahead and select our ohm signal here. Control C, find and replace again. Control V, boom, all gone. Now we're gonna have to sort this from the ohms from lowest to highest. We have 3 columns here. So easy way to do that, select on a column, find sort smallest to largest, boom, sort smallest to largest. We don't want to do the whole page, and then sort smallest to largest. Okay. Now next, we need to get rid of duplicate ohms. So this top number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 327, 1, 2, 3, 4, 327. So let's let's not get rid of it yet. We gotta do some more stuff here first. Now we sorted the ohms smallest to highest. We're gonna need to sort the temperature highest to lowest. That way it'll match back up with the ohms. There we go. Find and select, sort, large to smallest. Boom. And then take these numbers out for a second. No, it should. Let's see. Let's see if it does it. Sort largest to smallest. -40 should be at the bottom. Yes, and it is. Look at that. Okay. So now, if we wanted to even clean this up more, we can go ahead and grab these two columns. What happened here? Not these two. These two columns. Control C. Bring it down here. And paste it. And the same thing with this one. Control C. Bring it down here. And paste it. Now see how we have duplicate 73s? Let's get rid of those. Just delete out the whole line, it'll be easier. Then we're gonna have a duplicate up here. 186. There we go. Now we got rid of our duplicates. All right, so we're good here. We could get rid of all this to make it less confusing for us. All right, now we got our Excel set up the way we need to. Now we need to go back into CCT. We're gonna go over here and we can either right click and hit new, or we can do this little plus symbol. We're in new activity, right? And we're gonna name this something like 10K curve. Hit finish. Okay, now we got our 10K curve down here. We are going to insert logic, and we're going to insert a line segment. We're going to insert a input float. We're going to insert an output float. And that's all we need. So now let's go in there and let's view logic. Shrink this down just a hair. Output here, input here. Okay, we can go ahead and connect them. Now this line segment, this is where you build your curve over here. So what you could do, it has to be increased. Your input points must be increased. So let's look at this here. We want to do just the top number, 237, 239.94. So 237, 239.4. Okay, I believe that's going to be 302 and 301 temperature wise. Hit apply. Voila. Go ahead and close this. Go back to control. We're going to right click on this guy. We're going to export the module. Well, let's not do that yet. Let's go ahead. One more thing. Let's go in there. Well, let's just right click. Let's do select default element. That way it'll show it out here. Let's do the output. That way it'll be temperature. And let's go ahead and make that output temperature. Output float is going to be degrees Fahrenheit. If we do all this now, it'll be better for us. And then we go ahead and back and expose that. This is going to be temperature. Okay. Name this whatever it's going to replace over there. It would be better, helpful for you in the future. Or you could just name it default, temperature. For time's sake today, we're just going to go easy and not name a lot of stuff. Close. Now that everything is there for us, we're going to export module. We'll leave it named 10K curve. Save. Now, fun stuff. This is where we're going to use our sheet. We're going to go over here to our Windows Explorer. We're going to go into our C drive, program data, Johnson Controls, Metasys 3, CCT, UI, custom modules, and this is where all your custom modules live. And we just named that one curve. So we're going to copy this. We're going to come out here to our desktop and paste it down. We're going to change the dot module to a dot zip. Okay. We're going to go ahead and extract it. So now we have the extraction here. We're going to change the XML to TXT. That way we can open it now, play with it. We can get rid of this zip file because it already made this one for us. So let's go ahead and open our TXT. We're going to search for the last one we did was 239.94. So let's go over here, Control F, 239.94 in there, hit next. Maybe I did 39.9. 39. What did I do? Okay, let's look at 237. This is a if I can find it here. Had a problem with it before. There's our 237. Here's our 239. Okay, I think we found a problem here. Let's try this again. We're going to go Control F. Find next. There's our 237. There's our 239. I put a different number in there for some reason. That's okay. Not going to make too much of a difference. So See, between these two numbers, there is this right here. We need to copy that. Control C. We're going to come down here. We'll just post this in A. Control V. Now we need to make both of these numbers have that in front of it. Easiest way to do that is do equals. Click on that. Do an and sign. And then do that. And hit enter. Voila. Now, that A is never going to change. So if we put a dollar sign in front of that and a dollar sign in front of that, that means every one of these will reference that cell. So now, scroll down here. Ooh. Then we want to do the same thing there. So we can actually Control C, V, change this to a J. Hit enter. Scroll down. There we go. Now we need to make these numbers instead of formulas, because if we copied it right now, we'd actually just get these formulas. So what you could do is come over here, do a Control C, paste the values, come over here, do a Control C, paste the values. Now we're getting the values. So now we come over here, and we already did that one. We've already done this one. So let's go ahead and do all the other ones. Did I select 200? I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna select right here, go down, and Control C. We're gonna go back here. Right after this number here, we're gonna do a Control V. Okay. Now we got to do our numbers. Here's 201, our 301, 302, 301. It's got the same float in front of it. So we go back to our Excel. We've already done 302 and 301. So we need 300 all the way down to -40. Control C. Go back in here. We're going to go after 301. Control V. Don't worry about the spaces. It's fine. I'm sure there's software developers cringing right now. But we do save. Close that. Back into it. Change it back into an XML. Hit enter. Okay. Close that. Right click on this. And we're going to send it to a compressed zip folder. It's this guy right here. We're done with, well, not completely done with that yet. We'll change this back into a module. Dot module. Okay. Now we can open this back up. We can get rid of this one and replace it with this one. Hit close. Go back into CCT. Get rid of this guy. Go back and either hit your plus or hit the new. Find your curve, 10K curve module right here. Hit finish. Now let's go look at it. View logic, that's still there. Double click on this guy. There's your table. All built for you. Hit closed. Almost done, but not yet. Now we got to turn this modify signal into something that is supported, which is resistive. Update. Double click to get into it. Edit. Change degrees into ohms. Okay. Your min value needs to be the min ohms, the lowest number ohms. So the lowest number ohms we have would be the highest temperature, 237. So 237. And this needs to be the max value, the highest ohms. So that would be the lowest temperature, 239,686. 239,686. Okay. Now your input has to be the lowest, so just copy this again. 237, 239, 686. Copy this again. 237, 239, 686. All right, hit apply, close, define hardware, point assignment now, boom. I actually have one of these set up in my lab here, and it is on input 3, so I'm going to drag that down to input 3. I'm going to hit close, define hardware, because my VAV is set up to be address 60. Give me 2 seconds. I just kicked on the power to my device, which is powering up my map gateway. So now we have to set up the map gateway. There's my map gateway. And I did not connect that to my discharge air temperature. Okay, I made a mistake. I didn't connect it to my discharge air temperature. So go down to your CAF, your 10K curve, make a connection, boom. Now re-download everything. All right, it's re-downloading after I connected. There we go, it's waking up. There we go. All right, so now we're showing 1100 ohms, 11,000 ohms. 11,000 ohms is going to give us a temperature of come on. Is it not connected? It's connected. 11,000 ohms. It's in there somewhere. Maybe our chart's a little bit too big. I've honestly never seen this. According to our chart, we should be between 72 and 71, but this is not working. Basically turn this video into a bust, showing inconsistent inputs. Okay, a little bit of update on this. Johnson says that we might have had too many rows in that curve. So I guess if we're doing extreme temperatures, they're saying it on the both extreme sides, maybe start with 10 degrees apart, then go down to 5 degrees apart. And then whenever you're getting into the range that you're normally working in, then you could go to 1 degree. I didn't do that. I went and did 0 to 100 degrees. And it seems to be working fine at 1 degree intervals. Show you this view logic. Click on my line segment. 100 degrees all the way down to 0 degrees. This might work well for chill water, inside temperatures. Obviously, outside temperatures. I'm in Texas. It's not get over 100 degrees. And it barely gets under 0 here, but in the northern states, I can understand it getting below 0. So that's when we would need to go and start doing a little bit higher increments apart, 5 degrees, 2 degrees, whatever we can do to limit the amount of columns we have here. They couldn't tell me how many it's supported, but obviously it doesn't do the full 301 to or 302 degrees to negative 40 degrees. So, but everything is working here. It's reading 73 degrees. On my desk, it's reading 72.3 on my El Cheapy temperature sensor. So there you go. Now we got a type 3 thermistor.